Well, it looks like a lot of information about Trump, and it's I think you could get all of it, but I know you could get some of the information that was written up. The one where where Trump was stated that because Obama and Michelle had slept there, he got the prostitute to piss on the bed in Moscow. Um, um, but that information ain't the information that's really interesting is his cocaine and gambling and prostitution dealings that they're talking about um, 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 in that report. Um, his dealings, his sister that's a judge. Him talking about judge, but he got a sister that's a judge in New Jersey. But anyway, oh my God, basically he's a con artist. I was wondering why they were like, "Oh, we gotta hurry up, we gotta hurry up, we gotta hurry up and do stuff." Con artists always trying to make you hurry up before you realize they're fucking you. And I don't mean literally, I mean financially or whatever. They always want you to hurry up and rush, hurry up and rush, hurry up and rush, hurry up and rush and go nowhere. Like this is the deal, this is the one time offer. If we don't do this now, you'll never have another chance, and like a deal falls through, and it's like, oh well, that's it. We never. So like their whole thing is to like hurry up and rush something through, so you don't know how bad the deal is really for you and how it enriches them. And um, Putin took advantage of Trump's greed and his ignorance because he doesn't, like I don't think I don't think he reads up on this stuff. I don't think he read up on the Constitution, because then he would know what his job title is, because it states it in the Constitution. Um, Number two, then I don't know. It's not that much to reread it. It's something like I don't know, like nine. I don't know. It's not that much. It's not that much, but um, that's enough. But anyway, um, and plus I'm not president, so you know, it, me looking at it and briefly reading it, like 12 years or so go back. I would if I was him, that'd have been my. I would have went. Well, he. Let me tell you something. Um, One of the reasons why he didn't get the pre-briefing that they give most presidents, or is doing any of the procedures, or following the law, is because one, has no respect for it. Two, he's always skirted the law because he is a criminal. If you're dealing with prostitution, dope dope lords, and and you can see that his so-called friends. I mean, they're gonna keep him afloat because they're using his name and they're using him as a front. You know, which I think he doesn't have a problem, or he had no problem with it, and he brought his children in on it too. So his kids, like how kids are like, you can't the parent can't really have the kid live their history. So the kid is going on the lifestyle that they had, and uh, of course parents show or try to instill like uh, their behavior, and I think he's instilled in his children his behavior. Either is just by them observing, participating, or listening to his nonsense. I mean, lectures, whatever he does, he talks. I don't. I have a very hard time following because he's such a double binding hypocrite. He's such a I still think he has a syphilis brain, and I think that that on top of that, he has I want to say schizoid, uh, narcissistic, schizoid. Um, Not to be confused, but everything was bipolar. In his case, he'd have to induce some type of drug or alcohol in there to really be clarified as a bipolar. Because there's two listings of bipolar. One is with the drug use with pre-existing uh, mental problem. Then you combine. So and then you have the other type of bipolar. Uh, um, anyway. Um, but I say he's a narcissistic schizoid, and I don't believe in really the term bipolar, because of uh, it has to do with extenuous circumstances, and that the term's been used so loosely uh, that it doesn't really pinpoint. I mean, it's like a blanket. What I'm saying, oh, they're bipolar. Well, how are they bipolar? Are they going to be harmful to themselves? Are they suicidal? Or are they homicidal? Will they hurt others? And there's different degrees of how people will hurt others, and there's different degrees on how people will hurt themselves. Opposed to like some people, they might not go to the point of suicide, but they might like to cut themselves or something. So there's different degrees in it. All of them still uh, erratic. Their behavior, is like non-predictive and stuff. Anyway, so you know, uh, and the thing is that you don't have to be one extreme to do the other. You can be down the middle, and that's where I find myself lots of times. With my emotions. It's like uh, and everybody has their extremes, but most of the time, and I'm not saying I'm a calm level person. If I'm mad at my level of mad is every time I see that person is gonna be the same. You know, um, uh, where I'm not gonna really project it on somebody else. Because like to me, if I did that when I see that person that's mad, that make me mad because like I wasted my mad on anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the type of person that if you do me wrong, to get at your child or at somebody else in your family, it, a lot of times, I like karma rule anyway. Like the neighbor next door, he's fuck with me, call the city, had the city out here like, oh, you didn't inherit stuff, and my literally put it like under like my maiden name. And I've been married 3 times, so anyway, so like when the city worker was up there and he had the paper and uh anyway, I had my main name on it and everything. I was like, oh shit, you caught me. I'm the one that's been paying the fucking taxes here. You got me. Yeah, that name there. It's just that the money don't get sent out of here. It gets sent. Never mind. But anyway, you don't have to. You they you could bank online or bank whatever. You don't necessarily. Anyway, so and this is it's pretty common and pretty obvious thing to do. But like they were so because they I don't know you know um because of my behavior, which really is a behavior where I think I show too often sometimes that I'm not interested in a lot of the things they do or don't care. But anyway, getting back, and there's no way you can make me give a fuck about these sports. Or some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the college thing going on now. If they're not gonna pay college kids to play football, you know what I'm saying? And I was disappointed Duke was out as early as it was because hadn't predicted that, but I hadn't been paying attention either. I was just going on, you know, something with the Duke. Anyway, but other than that, like I just really don't care. I just think that like especially black people around here when you say that's the way of showing slavery because they buy, sell, and trade, and that's really like the definition of slavery: to buy, sell, and trade, human beings. And they're like, "Oh, you're stupid, you're crazy." I'm like, so they'll argue that they don't need to get paid. I'm like, they get free food and lodging. I'm like, well, what about toilet paper and deodorant, toothpaste and toothbrush and shampoo and conditioner? You know, little trinkets like that. You know, but in these days you really need to this day in the society you really need money. But anyway, getting back at, to Trump, he anyway from reading and I fell asleep after I read it. So I hate that I'll fall asleep and instead I had a dream, really weird dream, and it was really weird that anyway, but I don't know if it has to do with Trump or anything, but it was a disaster. Um, uh, uh, Fabricated disaster of a lot of like carnage and death or something, just to um, move us in a way. And I don't understand it. But anyway, it was trying to um, like force some other issue. It was a weird dream. I can't really recall now. They sort of disappear as I wake up like. But anyway, but I attribute that dream to Trump. But I got way off the subject, uh, trying to make a loose point. But anyway, Trump in his thing, he's the type that is harmful because in his narcissistic stages, uh, and the only reason why I'm saying I think that he's schizoid, I think it was early childhood abuse, which is very common with schizoid people. It's the early childhood abuse, probably before the age of 5. You see it a lot. Like I see it a lot around here. The majority of the people are suffering from the trauma of the whooping, the styles that I see the parents doing. It's very acute. Like to be in their 50s, because I guess because I'm 50, I'm gonna be 56 in a couple of days. That I don't like. I observe the children because they're in the stores and like they play out here, but I don't have any really like verbal I don't you know I guess I just don't have any contact with any people, and the least of them is children. I had more contact when I was teaching, but now like really not at all. The people I'm really around are around my age, and I noticed that the damage that you do, the trauma that you cause, it never goes away from those early years, like before they were 5. Because I'm observing the and when you're just looking at them, you don't really have contact with them. Um, um, well, all these kids around here, they all like got something to say to me, so they all know, see me around. But um, um, you know, uh, you know what I'm saying? Like there's one lady up here to show a good example of what I'm talking about with Trump at the early ages. Uh, I just happened to be able to watch 3 generations. The grandma just passed away, very nice lady, salt of the earth. But she made a grievous error in buying into the propaganda that because the white man had beat us, they had to whoop the kids. So she whooped her one daughter. There's one daughter, poor lady. She got cancer, and there's cancer from sexually transmitted diseases. Ovarian cancer. It can be one of the reasons. And then she had breast cancer. Uh, and then and she's diabetic. And well, while she was young, she bring different, she's very active, very sexual here. Uh, so her daughter, there's one daughter that's my arch enemy. She's like a crack baby. Um, she or was now she has two kids, and one approximately I think like 7, 8. Well, yeah, it's like a 7 year old and oh damn, some food right in my eye and that. And anyway, so she had her kids. She uses it. She don't like me for some reason. And none of them. I have a problem with like anyway. Well, I was told before I showed up here that the women have a problem. They're very damaged here. But anyway, but you can see in her kids are really messed up. She sicked her kids on me, and I was in that. Like, I had noticed, like, I went outside and took my recycles out and my trash out, and I brought something else outside, cleaning up, or straightening up, really, pretty much just putting this around. And I seen her out the window, and I was in the and then I had to go in the kitchen and cook, and then I went in the back den, and I had I don't have a TV, so I'm not sitting anywhere with the TV, so I bring my internet back there, and I know for a fact that if somebody knocks on the door, I ain't gonna hear you back there because I have like my music on really loud. Oh, no, I think I had the radio on back there and just had some type of picture I was looking at on the internet. Anyway, I was busy back there. I don't think I had I was just had my radio on back there. I didn't even have the laptop on. Uh, but and then by the time I came out to sit on the porch, I noticed the kids were riding around over here. Now you gotta understand, over here, like this whole corner is mine. On the next block over, the 3 lots, this whole side over here, and anyway, so it's like 5 acres, I guess, right here, pretty much. Um, and there's no reason over here. There's no kids over here. It just went past the kids. But and then she comes with the bicycle because she had been lying that I've been picking on her and whatnot. Call the police and lying on me. So now she's ready for me to retaliate. But why should I? She's fucking up her kids. I can't do more damage than what she's doing to herself. So like by then, and then like she just takes off on her bike, proving her point or whatever. And like today she walked down the street and like she just like gives this really nasty look and she's like, I don't care, I'm going over there. And she's like looking at me, so I'm like, I'm not turning my back to her because the bitch already threw like coffee at me and she's already done all this crazy shit, because like they miss that ass whooping. They don't know unconsciously they do. They tear up everything. But anyway, her whole thing is I'm crazy. Next thing, so I walk right into the trash can. I'm not a trash can, in the mailbox. It's like, I turn around and I'm like, fuck this. And I walk into the mailbox, but I'm going like where me and her is even. Because I was like this, and I'm getting even to like where like if she wants to fight me, she could jump me in my fucking time and she ain't gonna do shit. Because she's scared of the ass whooping. She's not, she's the type who got to pull a gun, she got a knife, all this crazy shit, stick her kids on you. So anyway, so she laughed, and her kids been laughing and shit like they'll laugh at my hair. Her daughter has a big afro, bigger than mine. I guess they finally permed it, but she's laughing at my hair, and I was looking at her. I was like, okay, so you don't like yourself and you're ugly. But anyway, right? So I finally told her. I said, you're a poor excuse of a woman, and you're a worse mother. You're not a mother at all. Fuck your kids up. Well, you ain't nothing but a hoe. And then the next thing, well, you can't even get a man. You know what I mean? Because, like, in their mind, I should have had a man. Move some guy in here. If I have to move somebody in here, that means they're homeless, right? I don't know. I ain't moving anybody in here. Oh, he's going to get me a car and shit. Like, I've been waiting for some man to come along and give me something like that. But anyway, So I was through with her any fucking way, and I came back, she was gone. Her man was there. I wanted her man to hear, because she the one fucked up her kids. There's nothing I can do to her, and that's what happened with Trump. I think his parents fucked him up. His father was a gangster. His father was in prostitution, and for you, and maybe they glorified it, made it sound like, but anyway, I believe now we have a a narcissistic. Let's just leave it at that. I mean, I don't really know about his childhood. I can only guess. With the way he treats women, the way he acts, and stuff like that. And plus, I see it a lot. I'm not saying like there's different type of trauma. It doesn't have to be spanking or sexual abuse. Most of the time around here is both. Like that. I feel sorry for the little girl, and I know what's gonna happen with her kids. But she's old enough that she should realize that she's gonna have to protect her kids and not throw their kids in danger. But that's hey, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? They was out there all motherfucking day trying to fuck with me, and I felt like when I came out and I realized they was trying to fuck with me, and I was like, damn. I didn't even know. I would have enjoyed it a little bit, Let's see how far they go, because they're not coming on my property. They come on my property, I'm gonna shoot the bitch, because she don't mean me no good, and I don't. I'm not taking no chances, you know. As long as they up there, they can do that shit all they fucking want to. But I told her today, I said, go ahead and call the police. You call the fucking police every motherfucking time, you lie sack of motherfucking shit. You lie bitch, whatever. If I'm a hoe, then I'm a hoe. So what, bitch? Takes one to know one. Fuck out of here. I mean, you don't even have a man. There's nobody. I don't go anywhere. Party, and I'm not looking on the internet. I went to fill out one of those things one time, like for the match thing, and I ended up filling out like I was the guy, and then I didn't realize it. I couldn't get it to change back for some reason, and I was like, oh shit. So anyway, well, I guess the first part, like anyway, I missed like did the little box and the first thing, when it's supposed to be a female looking for a male, I put a male looking for a female. And then like after I got like halfway through with the questionnaire, I realized, oh shit, I filled it out as me the man. I was do this thing like that. But anyway, so we have not only is he a criminal, but he's allowed spies to come in, and you gotta understand they make their money from blackmail, espionage. Like I said, those are usually white, and then you could buy, and then like I know in New York where they got billionaires. I live there. It's easy to buy police, and one thing they play up on is the jealousy that one has in one's family. And you can see it like in Michael Jackson family, which I have to say, Paris Jackson looks just like my grandma Danny Mae. And I've known that me and Deborah Rubin was in elementary school from I don't even know how long. I don't know if it's just the third grade. Um, so and I know Michael Jackson too. But anyway, I was just looking at her and started. But um, what was I gonna say? But the family, the way his brothers was treated him with the jealousy. Michael, his father, had them like start off in strip clubs and things like that, and where there's perverts and there's people that are sexually deviant and Michael was more favored. Michael worked hard. He wanted to please. Whereas brothers um, saw him getting more attention, but instead of like them trying to be great themselves, like practice more. Because I think that Jamar and whatever their names are, I can't stand them either. They just horrible mind. Their ideas are so twisted. They so damaged. They don't see the beauty in black folks. They never did. Uh, they buy into all the anyway. So they could have been great. They have everything in them to be great. You know, maybe it's because they were the oldest ones, and you know, and mom could only carry one, or you know what I'm saying. You know, when they're babies, they end up saying they get more attention. But anyway, so their whole thing was like blackmailing and embezzlement and kidnapping their own brother to force him to get money, when so unnecessary. And um, I contribute his psychotic behavior, his uh, um, to the cruelty of his brothers and his parents' lack of being parents. Because there does come a time when you have to sit your kids down and say, hey, this is not a Bugs Bunny cartoons. It's not, oh, you can't, if you can't beat them, join them. You know, this is a reality. So I see where they screwed themselves up on having their own career. And these are the same people in the sex industry that Trump has dealt with, that was managing Michael and them and making sure that they make sure you have drugs in the prostitutes. Some of them do, uh, uh, and it's all about I'm living off of this other person, So Uh, anyway, it's very dangerous. Trump is very dangerous. He's very dangerous. He doesn't know what he's doing. He knows nothing about the Constitution. We got a war going on over with ISIS. He has no clue about the war. And I think he would find it very interesting because they got these maps that are like phone wavers and they got little tanks and airplanes and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you can map out your whole motherfucking plan beforehand. And I think he would enjoy that being it, but I don't think they could debrief him because of the people that are around him and him being investigated with Pfizer. But anyway, I almost talked for 30 minutes. Let me get off here. I was going to listen to that.